Thank you.
Ma'am, please. I just want M.K. Anand to first just for a couple of minutes tell you the reason why we did this entire show.
Okay.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for the time that you've given us. Thank you, everybody, the SBI chairman, the PNB MD, and everybody else here. This is an endeavor which we started in April 2020. This is just about 3 or 4 weeks after the lockdown was started, and we were, people were actually, most of everybody else across the globe were, just about coming to terms with the pandemic and the general stop in the entire process. At that time, it was also the period when there were those people walking back home, etc. And there was a lot of negative on the economic front, and at which time we wanted to look at what is it that we can do to contribute from our side to put our shoulder to the wheel, to push it in a positive direction than to sort of find faults in the whole situation. Because we felt that at every juncture in human history, when there has been a negative, this is a time when something positive can actually emerge out of it. While as an English network, we have, we are only talking to the 7% English-speaking people in India. It's a small, narrow audience. However, the fact that all of us are speaking to each other in English right now is enough testimony that we are the ones who actually are in a position to make a difference in people's thinking. And we therefore believe that at the network, using Times Now and Indie Now, we are capable of probably sort of putting that additional 1 percentage point or 2 percentage point to the growth of this country, which we so badly need. Because we believe that economics, after all, is psychology, mass psychology in motion. And that is why we wanted to crowdsource ideation of how to use this pandemic situation to put India on a faster track and look at the coming decade as what we believe belongs to us. I mean, this is what the network has been talking about. In fact, madam, we were talking about the 5 trillion idea in 2017-18, and then it has become a big buzzword. And we believe that India is really poised for greatness. As I said, from April we started. This work went on till October 2020, when we were crowdsourcing from CEOs across the sectors, across the large to the smallest, and about 610 CEOs have contributed to bring out this white paper. It's not very long. I'm sure you will find it interesting. But there are 2 or 3 very important key points, of which one you have already taken care of, which is to put buying power in people's hands, prioritizing certain industries, prioritizing health, education, infrastructure. But there are 2 additional points which we believe you might find of great importance. One is to look at empowering low-skilled manufacturing, which is coming out as an idea from all the points that have come up. While we are all very happy that we are looking at the Apples and the big tech companies, etc., to come into the country, our labor is still at grade 1 and 2, and therefore smaller manipulation of raw materials to goods. Like apparel, like fashion, leather, goods, etc., is where I think that is one of the ideas that is coming from here, empowering those skill manufacturing. And the second is something called innovative financing, tax-free special purpose bonds, like the US war bonds. And that is something that I think when we talk to people right from the lowest to the highest, there is a huge groundswell of patriotism which is coming under this government of ours in the last 2 terms, and patriotism is something that is a huge driving force. And I'm sure if you appeal to that, all of us retail investment into bonds to look at India Atmanirbhar bond or India Swabhiman bond or India growth bond, I'm sure that is something that is coming. Again, these are not my ideas, these are coming out from this. We thank Amit Kapoor, who is also on this call, who is from Institute of Competitiveness, who has worked with us to put this together. And thank you again, madam, for giving us this time. We hope we will be able to contribute in your great work as we go forward.
So, ma'am, those ideas are there. Amit Kapoor has worked with us, and our very important partners in this entire effort have been the State Bank of India Chairman Mr. Dinesh Khara, who's with us, and also Mr. Rao, the Chairman of Punjab National Bank. And we have, at a time when confidence was at the lowest level, people almost thought that the pandemic meant apocalypse, nothing after this. we worked with them and talked about revival even when the lockdown was going on, because we knew the next stage would be revival, and how financing, how keeping up the morale and helping businesses, whether they are the small enterprises or MSMEs, how that has to be done. There was an exchange of views between some of these owners of companies and the bank chairman to give them ideas on how to reach out to them. Mr. Dinesh Khara, why don't you tell ma'am about the association on the India Revival Mission with the Times Network?
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. It's my proud privilege to share before you what all went through during the pandemic. Of course, we all know what all were the challenges, but there are always some silver linings which all of us have witnessed. And I think if we look at the corporate results, we have seen that probably they have now readjusted to the new realities, and it's a paradigm shift which we have witnessed. I think when the pandemic started, everybody felt that it's all gloom and doom. But perhaps it was at the initiative of the government when right from the day one, when they started distributing some 500 rupees to all those who were very much in need of that kind of money. There was an effort put in by the government to ensure that there should be adequate cash in the hands of all those who need it. And thereafter, various initiatives which were taken in the Atmanirbhar Bharat, it was essentially to boost the confidence of people. And I think that went a long way. And after that, the kind of ECGLS, the scheme which was brought in to help the SME, that is again the kind of a relief which was never envisaged at any point of time. But I think the government has been very, very pragmatic, and they have come out with all such initiatives which has helped the revival of the economy. Liquidity was never a challenge, and in fact, the way liquidity was poured in with the help of RBI, I think it ensured that the market stays very vibrant all through. I think apart from that, the new initiative which has been brought in for the manufacturing, and particularly the PLI and the focus on the defense sector, have been engaging with various leading manufacturers into these sectors, and they're all very buoyant in terms of the opportunities which have got unlocked in this process. I think to that extent, I would say that pandemic has actually helped in jump-starting the demand, which was actually a bit sluggish just before the pandemic. And I'm sure going forward, we are all getting into the good trajectory. And moreover, the recent budget which has brought in the kind of focus on infrastructure, perhaps this is the way forward for bringing in the competitiveness into the Indian economy, and also ensuring that we stay ahead and we become a developed nation at a faster pace. And I think the 5 trillion dream, which at times we seem to be losing focus on, I think we can probably accelerate our sharp focus on 5 trillion, and we can perhaps become 5 trillion maybe in the same time frame as it was envisaged. Thank you very much, ma'am, for taking all these initiatives and actually leading the economy from the front. These are very tough times, but you have shown us the way. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Ms. Nirmala SIthraman, you know we've complimented you many times on the budget this year, which has been far-sighted, and it has looked at a very pragmatic, prescription of what the economy needed. I know you're in a hurry because you have a couple of meetings lined up. If I can just invite the MD of Punjab National Bank, Mr. Rao, to say a couple of words, after which we'd like to hear from you. Mr. Rao first, please.
First of all, I would like to congratulate you on delivering a wonderful budget, which was culmination of the measures taken by you right from the pandemic, what has impacted our country, not only in our country, across the globe. Second, I would like to also congratulate Reserve Bank of India in continuing to show consistency in policy documents. More importantly, the policy declaration as of 5th of February was a complementary to the budget declaration. I'll only talk about a couple of points, particularly the infra push given in terms of road sector, port sector and aviation sector is going to be a bigger boost for the country, and in the next 3 to 5 years time we're going to see a lot of asset creation and investment, not only by the government of India, but also it will generate interest in the investments from the corporate sector. Second, the decision taken to establish DFI, Development Financial Institution, will definitely take care of certain issues we faced during investment in infrastructure between 2007 and 2012. Those issues are also going to be resolved with DFI. And another important decision was the ARC and AMC, which was the need of requirement, particularly from the public sector space. It's a wonderful decision taken by the government. We look forward for effective implementation of these two measures so that we can see the play out in the economy. Next, one more point, madam, I would like to just put forth before you that in the last 20 to 25 years, probably the village and cottage industry and the micro and small industry have lost their sheen because of a lot of imports taking place in those kind of goods. This government has started doing extremely well in concentrating in those areas. I expect that in the days to come, the kind of measures taken particularly to curb imports or protecting the domestic industry, as well as the recent decision of production linked incentive, these will go a long way in protecting the industry in our country. We definitely work towards the dimension put forth by the government, particularly identifying the MSME clusters or manufacturing clusters in our country, where some of the states have taken initiative in terms of one product, one district, which will go a long way if we are able to establish across the country. With these few words, madam, I thank you very much for the opportunity given by the Times Group and also a privilege to put before you our viewpoints. Thank you very much.
Well, Ms. Nirmala SIthraman, simply put, I want to tell you that the Times Network, ET Now, Times Now and Mirror Now, we are a group of channels. We think that moving the economy forward is not just in the interest of the government in terms of showing its performance, but it is also in interest of the people of India. And we are happy to partner with the government on whichever area you think communication can solve the problem, attracting attention can solve the problem, or even us being the sutradhars of bringing the words or the problems that some sectors are facing to the government so that the government can take those actions. I'm not saying that you don't already know, but I'm saying that we can be the sutradhar which connects the government with the industry, whether it's small, big, or even micro industry. We can do that, and we would look forward to partnering with you, the finance ministry, banks, to take this forward. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Navika. Thank you, Nikunj, Mihir, Amit and Anand. Of course, Dinesh, Khara and Rao from Punjab National Bank. I first of all put on record my appreciation to the Times Group and its group's members, whether it is ET Now, Mirror Now and the others, for having taken that role on yourselves to think about the economic revival, particularly in a challenging time like this. You've gone into details from all that you've said in bits that I'm trying to put together now. You've gone into great details. You've looked at various aspects of the economy. You've thought it important to come out with a white paper. Navika, you're right. You are right in saying we may know things, but that's not just going to be enough, and that's not been the approach of this government. Whether we know enough or not, we always go on this assumption, and the Prime Minister himself engages with various sections of the society. So we don't ever believe that we'll know sufficiently enough. We may know some, because being government, you get information from various different sources. You also talk to people who are specialists in the area, domain experts and stakeholders. However, it may not be sufficient enough. And in that, I'm very glad the media, particularly Times Group, has taken this special effort and put in a lot of thought into how to go about it and involved so many different stakeholders to get a white paper prepared just in time, so that even as the finance bill is in the parliament and the parliamentary standing committees are looking into various aspects of it, I received this white paper. I assure you it will be only in the fitness of things that we in the government, myself, Ministry of Finance, will definitely go into every detail of what you've given me in this white paper, and I'm sure to benefit from it. So I first of all thank you for this special effort of having put your mind and work and everything together to come out with a white paper and also to present it to me. I will go through it and I'm sure to benefit from it. So thank you very much for having thought of this and having put all your energies together to come up with something which is so important at a time like this, when governments also certainly need inputs from every section. Particularly the media has the advantage of being at a location where it can look at the society with certain objectivity and also see the developments without any worry about what it means or what it implies. Just collect it all and identify the need for those concerns to be voiced to the policymakers and expect them to act upon it. I assure you that I will have a look at this white paper, and I thank you for the timely compilation and presentation of this to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Finance Minister. And this is not just a one-time effort. We plan to keep this going forward. Revival is one stage. Putting it on the takeoff stage is going to be our next stage. And then, of course, the fruits of the growth will be for the country to see. And we plan to be with you, by your side, in partnering this growth phase that India is looking forward to. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, Navika, and thank you to all part of this team. Thank you, the Chairman SBI and also the Punjab National Bank.